Hello student, welcome in political science class. Student, today I have taken very important and knowledgeable topic, the Russian Revolution. Students, today we are looking a very strong country in the world, Russia. When we are taking name Russia, the glory, the power, the strength, economy, everything comes in our mind. How it created, how Russia become powerful. We will discuss and solve these questions in this video. Students, when the type of the political power was increasing all over world, like democracy and military dictatorship and non-military dictatorship in all over world after the 19th century. In Russia, Russia ruled by the dictator, and that dictator title name was Tsar. Tsar ruled Russia, and people had lot of problems. You have well understanding about the people's problem in the non-democratic government. Only democratic government can provide the facilities of the poor by the welfares. In this term, what happened in the Russia? See, it is officially known as the October Revolution. The Russian Revolution, also known by the name of October Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution. Why Bolshevik? Bolshevik was the party of Lenin. Lenin was the founder of modern, powerful and integrated Russia. So the party name of Bolshevik, this reason the Russian Revolution known also the Bolshevik Revolution and October Uprising. October was the month when this movement, this revolution against Tsar increased all over the part of the Russia, and Red October. Red October means when the Bolshevik followers weared the red dress, and that red dress weared people straightened all over the Russian part and controlled the all important buildings, businesses, factories, companies, offices, that Russia become red. So these are the various names of the Russian Revolution. Students, it was revolution led by the Vladimir Lenin. Vladimir Lenin was the leader of the Russian Revolution. Students, he was not common person. His relation was middle class family of Russia. His father was inspector of education and mother was a specialist in the home or domestic work. His father was well-literate person, inspector of education, so he had treated very well in the education, and Lenin got very higher education, means the degree of law. He became the legal advisor. But due to the movement against the Tsar, the university suspended him and he joined officially the communist model of the movement against the dictator government. Sometimes he kept in the prison by the contemporary government, and in this imprisoned time, he had written 30 books, and that books become the ideology, the common knowledge about the vision, plan idea of Lenin. So student, I have explained very well who was Lenin. Lenin was the leader of the Bolshevik revolution, and this revolution, the larger Russian revolution in 1972 1923, it was the duration of the October socialist revolution. Point number third, it was the against Tsar Nicholas II. Nicholas II was the dictator of the Russia. I said the Russian dictator knows taken as the title of the Tsar. So Tsar Nicholas II was the dictator of the Russia, and there was three main cause of the Great October Socialist Revolution. Number first, political. Students, under the rules of the dictators, people had no right of the vote. People had not right to express their views against the Tsar. Means freedom was not there, dignity was not there. So for the freedom and the dignity, people had started revolution, because Russia is the part of the European continent. So parallel when in the France, Britain and other parts of the European continent countries had established a democracy, they were much inspired. The Russian people had seen the democracy's development in the other part of the European continent. They were much inspired, and they had tried to establish same democratic sense in Russia. So it was the political reason. And the second, social reason. Students, during time of the dictators, the Russian society was divided between three parts. First, royal and elite families, which had lot of power, lot of authorities. They can do what they like, they can do what they choose. And second, middle class families. They had also many beneficial things which had provided by the dictator, because they were the provider of wealth and capitals to the dictator. But third categories, peasants, farmers, laborers, had the group of unity. They had a lot of problems. The third categories of the society had faced a lot of problems. They had not facility, they had not land ownership. All land ownership had elites and the royal families. They were working as the slave. So they had a lot of problems, and these problems of the third category society of the Russian become the major social cause of the October Revolution in Russia. And economic problems. Students, in Russia there was lot of industries, factories, companies, farming, agriculture areas, which were inspired of the industrialization from the European continent, which had started from Britain. But due to the restrictions of the Tsar dictators, big industries and large scale industries were not established. So economic distribution was uneven, and all profit got by the elites, businessmen, which were supported by Tsar. People were hungry, they had not clothes for wear, they were moving here and there, and they had no facilities. So this economic cause was also become the cause of the October Revolution in Russia. What happened? In June, July and August 1917, it was the common to hear working class Russians speak about lack food and supplies. In 1917, in the Russia, everywhere, streets, villages, markets, anyone can hear commonly the working class of the Russians were speaking about lackness of the food, lackness of the work, and lackness of the supply of the materials. Supply, food availability was lack in during time of 1917. In September and October 1917, there was mass strike against by the Moscow took part of the strikes and the control over production and distribution in the plants. Students, due to the lack of food and supply, when Lenin entered with the Bolshevik plan in the Russian movements, then the Red Army followed the Bolshevik model which had provided by the Lenin. They gone on the strike. Every industrial workers, every company workers, peasants, farmers had joined. Also the militaries, those were under recruited by the dictators of the Russia. They refused to accept the order to attack and open the fire on the common people. Military refused, joined the Bolshevik revolution and followed the Lenin path, because the military workers, the military soldiers were the peasants and farmers. During time of war, they recruited as the military soldiers, and peacetime they were working in the agriculture plant. They had not good payment, they had not good facility provided by the dictators. So they become against dictator and join the Bolshevik revolutions and gone on the strike and control of the production distribution in the plants. Then what happened? Lenin in 1903, he took key role in this revolution, ideologically leading a Bolshevik faction against Jewish Monteviks and his the administration's defeated right and left-wing anti-Bolshevik armies in the Russian Civil War from 1970 to 1972. The Russian leader Lenin became a big provider of the ideology which can control the all revolutionaries toward the revolution to establish a new and modern government against the dictator. Then the October Revolution also made ideology and communism influential on a global scale. In the 20th century, communist parties were started form in the many countries after 1917. Students, this revolution became very success. Tsar overthrown and the new socialist model established in the Russia. Some confusion creates between the peoples and the Bolshevik, but at last Bolshevik become winner under the leadership of Lenin. Lenin become the top leader of the Russia, and at last in the whole world, first time the labor government, the workers government, the farmers government established in Russia without any the democratic sense and without any support of the dictator. So students, I have explained what was the Bolshevik revolution under the Lenin. Okay student, thanks.